participated in alternative breaks at the end of my sophomore year. I went to Ecuador. It was a summer trip. So yeah, that was a really great experience. I learned a lot, got to practice my Spanish, and meet a lot of really great people.
This past winter break, I was an experience leader for the Central Florida trip on environmental conservation. And so I helped co-lead that experience where we learned a lot about the environment down there and got to help out with protecting it.
So in AB, I was an experience leader in my junior year of college. I co-led the Bahamas experience on environmental conservation. The year before, I had actually gone on the experience, and then my senior year, I was an intern and I got to go on the Guatemala experience. So the majority of my time has been spent on environmental conservation.
I've had the honor and privilege of serving as a staff advisor for alternative breaks for 3 different experiences in Baltimore, in Harlan, and in Washington, D.C.
For spring break, I went on an alternative spring break, and we went to Chicago, Illinois, and learned about urban education there, and it was a really great experience.
So last spring break in 2018, I had the opportunity to go to Chicago with my alternative breaks group. And at Chicago, we spent a week getting involved with a charter school called Mushin, and we got to explore the education system in Chicago and how charter schools are different from the public schools that most of the people in our group are used to, as well as understanding a bit more about the issues that lie within urban education.
To me, activation means looking at your community, working with the community, finding others to work with you, listening to those around you, and finding ways to serve the people around you. That basically takes your compassion and your ability to listen and puts it into action.
I think to me, activation means kind of applying the lessons and the skills that you've learned to another setting. Whether that's in future service, whether that's in changing your major, whether that's through pursuing a certain internship. I think it's basically about applying whatever you got from your experience to a different setting.
So I think activation really comes down to what your steps are moving forward, and it kind of defines your journey as an active citizen. So what does it look like for you to take what you learn and apply it in your daily life? So a lot of stuff for me was small stuff. So like taking the things that I learned in environmental conservation abroad in the Bahamas and Guatemala, how do I actually apply that to my life domestically in my own household is what activation means to me.
How exciting to have returned from your AB experience. I'm sure you're full of many stories and much passion for what you've experienced. The importance is to slow down a bit, think about what just occurred, and think about your part in that experience. Then take what you've learned and find different ways to put that into action. Look for communities around you, listen to them, and find ways that you can serve and make the world a better place.
So a lot of the stuff that I think is important isn't the big stuff. So I don't think that activation means changing your whole lifestyle. I think it's something of integrating things that you learn into your life on a daily basis. So like turning off the lights when you leave the room, recycling, being more of an active participant in society itself, and just making sure that you're being in the moment. So making sure you're taking care of yourself, knowing where your place is. So like when you're in a different context, a different situation, what does it mean for me to take a part in that talk or that dialogue, and just becoming a part of the community around you.
Stay connected with the people from your trip. You guys all went through this really unique experience together, and you guys all kind of came out with this new social justice mindset. So I think staying connected with those people offers a lot of different opportunities. Second, I would say try to apply your experience in a way that's authentic to you. Don't do something that like you maybe never would have done before, but kind of figure out how that works for you, whether that's through continuing to volunteer through an organization that you've been connected to, or pursuing an opportunity that you've been interested in but haven't necessarily had the time to do. But keep it authentic, because that's going to be the most meaningful service that you can do.
My advice would be that they should definitely take this as a good starting point and use it and the knowledge they've gained to start exploring their local community and the issues around them, and taking a more active role in questioning what's going on in their world and seeing how they can make a difference in it.
I think one of the most helpful things for me was to journal about everything after I came back. So throughout the experience, you're journaling every day, but I think the comprehensive reflection about everything that went on and just really looking into yourself and seeing how it shaped your experience is really helpful. And I think going forward, not only again being a conscious citizen and educating people about social issues you learn about, also sharing that experience excuse me, with others is really helpful. And I think AB is a really beneficial time for anyone who's looking to go. So not only sharing your experience, but encouraging other people to go too.
So you have so much potential to do whatever you want with the experiences and lessons you learned from your alternative breaks trip. So first of all, I strongly encourage all of you to attend Activation Academy, which is a weekend in April. It's just a one-day conference in STAM, and that really helps you, get a start on how and what you should do in order to put all the things that you've learned in your respective communities at your AB trip into action on campus and after college. So it's led by facilitators, and I strongly encourage everyone who's had the experience to go out there and see what the world has to offer and take that back to your community and actually do something with it. I also encourage you to get more involved with alternative breaks. Don't let this be a one-time thing. Go on another trip, look into that, or if you're empowered to, apply to be an experience leader and dive deeper into what the LCSL office has to offer you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Can I start?
But yeah, this is bad. It's not working. I don't know what it is.
Activation mean to you?
Can we see if I'm talking loud enough?
Right. And then, what advice do you have to participants who have just returned from their alternative break experience as they begin their activation journey?
Was your